Welcome to the first Women's Superliga A game of the weekend between the table toppers, the Western Devils, and the third-placed West Coast Cobras. An exciting matchup we have on our hands. Two sides that have featured in the grand final over the past few seasons and full of talent. State team representatives on both sides, so you can always count on it being an entertaining display. The Western Devils lining up with Becky Musial in between the sticks, presumably Laura Waltman, Andrea Priato, Penelope Clayton, and Lauren Baker. The West Coast Cobras with Sarah Ranieri, EJ Silva, and Kim McCartney. Eleanor Bates as well, playing that ball out of play. On the bench, Western Devils with two substitutes, B1 and Annabelle Leake. The West Coast Cobras with three on the bench, Samantha Brady, Lauren Continabali, and Marco Kant as the first chance coming in there for the Devils. Annie Leyland to Ranieri. Kim McCartney over the top. Becky Musial makes the save, but we saw the West Coast Cobras go down early through that Laura Waltman goal. Sorry for not having any commentary. There were some technical difficulties momentarily at the wrong time. It's Andrea Priato to Clayton. And Clayton looks to feed in Baker at the back post. Now Kim McCartney looking for an area at the opposite back post. Andrea Priato. Baker to Clayton. And Clayton bringing this one up. Waltman to Baker. Waltman, who is the best player in the Women's Superliga, Golden Boot winner last season, and she looks on track again. Plays outdoor for Fremantle City, but a very surprising fact, apparently she's actually a centre back in outdoor, so has fun scoring goals in the indoor game, has fun stopping them on the green grass, as that shot to the back post from Baker, cleared by Bates, but only as far as Clayton. Ranieri under pressure, gives it away in the middle. Priato to Waltman, but it's a loose ball. Now Kim McCartney. Complaining about the ball not being pumped up enough, so referee Malacco switching it out with the spare ball as Kim McCartney, Eleanor Bates plays that one into Clayton. McCartney to Ranieri. Back to McCartney, long ball over the top. Bates in the middle, out to Ranieri again. McCartney. Ranieri given away. And now Lauren Baker lays it off. Priato shoots, blocked by Ranieri. Nell Clayton down the flank and on the right. But looks like it was off the post and out. As the ball through from Bates is a good one. Kim McCartney always or almost able to latch onto it. Waltman. Clayton chipped over the top. It's a good ball. EJ Silva now. McCartney's on the left. Silva stalls. Silva looks to get past Waltman. Waltman puts it into touch. Bates. Kontinapali can't keep it in. Annabelle Leake to Clayton. Through ball laid off by Friado. Leake can't control. Kontinapali. EJ Silva to Bates. And Bates, good ball forward. Dealt with by Clayton. Annabelle Leake. Waltman on the left boot. Ball looking for that back post. McCartney being pressed by Waltman. And Leyland putting it into touch. Nina Borman absent from today's matchday squad. A big exclusion for the Western Devils. Borman went away with West Australian side to AFA Nationals in January. For the West Coast Cobras. Christian Astor, probably the biggest out. Former Seattle Sounders centre midfielder. Lauren Kontinapali looking to get it over the top. Nell Clayton. Prado. Leake. Prado again. Ball through. It's a good one, but a last-ditch effort from Brady. And Marco Khan chasing the ball on the right. As you see, Lindsay McDowell looking to come back on, or come on for her first minutes of the match. She does now. Prado off. McDowell full of experience. Played for the Australian women's team at an IFA World Cup alongside Andrea Prado in 2018. As the ball down the line, intercepted. Bates wins it back. Kontinapali over the top. Looking for Marco. Can't get that. And now Clayton to Waltman. Out wide. Annabelle Leake loose touch. And the Cobras will get it back. It's Ranieri on. Bates off. Neri will look to sit. That fixed position. While Eleanor Bates is off, and now here comes Waltman on the left boot. She's missed the target, uncharacteristic of Laura Waltman, who burst through the whole West Coast Cobras defense. They left that middle gaping open and almost got punished for it. It's a let off there and maybe a wake-up call. Kontinapali in the middle to Brady, and Marco Khan. Through ball for Kontinapali. Brady's at the back post. Ball needed to be better. McDowell loses out to Brady, the much younger figure. Marco Khan. Ranieri bringing it inside the half. Outward to Brady, looking inside to Ranieri. Resets with Kontinapali in the end. And the shot helped on by Khan. Clayton, signature ball over the top. This time, can't keep it in play. It's a timeout for the West Coast Cobras after having a bit of a shaky start. And the Waltman goal separates the two sides. 9 minutes into the match. Devils are definitely looking on top. Luke Ross looking to rally his girls and get them back into this game. The Devils have it over the Cobras in the recent seasons, taking out, I'd have to say, every one of the last 5 or 6 encounters. Devils have been the dominant side of the Women's Super-Liga. Hawks really being their only competition, who have put in a couple of good performances against them, particularly this season. However, Devils do sit comfortably in first as they've beaten pretty much everybody else. Hawks slipping up a couple of times to the weaker sides in the league. But nevertheless, it's still a hotly contested race at the top. A couple of surprise upsets and the Devils could slip. They're not safe, but if they keep putting in good performances like what they look to be doing today, they will be soon. As Leyland will restart it, she gives to McCartney. McCartney plays for Balcatta, a very good player both of the game, both indoor and outdoor, and probably the one to watch out for in this West Coast Cobras side. Dummied by Kontinabali, but it was a poor ball. Didn't find McCartney. She was under pressure. Tries to shoot for Leyland. They weren't on the same page there. McCartney frustrated. B1 pressing. Kontinabali loses out, and now one given away. Kontinabali given away in the middle. Lindsay McDowell out wide to Clayton. Kontinabali under pressure, so is Marco Kant. Flicks it out. Leak now to Clayton. Cross to B1 in the middle. Lindsay McDowell. And I think that was a soft foul. McDowell went down a little bit easier there. Maybe it wasn't. Kontinabali helps her up. But nevertheless, it's a free kick for the Devils. And Clayton's going to want to have a strike from here. It's her territory on the court. B1 runs over it rather pointlessly, or maybe not. Clayton struck it, took a deflection. Annabelle Leak to 1. And now Clayton inside. And looks like it went out. EJ Silva over the top from McCartney. What a ball! Kontinabali had more time than she realised. Could have taken a touch and drove herself toward the goal, and maybe put that one past Musial. In all honesty, it's probably the best chance of the game so far, but Kontinabali, after having an excellent first touch, can't capitalise on the chance, and McCartney showing us a bit of her quality there with the pinpoint ball. Kontinabali out wide to Silva, and back to McCartney. Down the line, it's a good ball. Ranieri flicks it on. Silva! It's better from the Cobras since this half, or since this timeout. A couple of the big guns on the bench for the Devils, so they've got to take advantage of it now, the West Coast Cobras. Prado holding stuff at the back for the Devils. One of the best fixos in the country, Andrea Prado. Here she is again, gives it to Leak. Leak down the line to 1. 1, flicks it on in the end. Leyland saves. Prado looked to follow up, but Leyland dove on the ball. It's an awkward pass from 1, who initially looked to a Ronaldo shot flicker, but the ball still somehow stuck to her foot, and she flicked it through to Prado on the second attempt. It's a good save by Leyland. And now B1 out wide to McDowell. McDowell the ball, looking for the target. One back by McCartney, who can drive forward. Prado getting back nice and quickly. Prado looking to go herself. Tries to beat 1, tries to beat 2, loses out. And the call goes the way of the Western Devils. Annabelle Leake gives it to McDowell. McDowell out wide to one. One reverse ball. McCartney. Ball forward. UCR claims it. And now B1 under pressure. Loses out to the much bigger frame of Sarah Ranieri. And on it again here, Ranieri flicks it out. B1. Bates. The return ball looking for McCartney. One, what's she found? Referee says no, McCartney had to keep going. One picks it up. Now McCartney wins it back. Bates can't keep it in. Lauren Baker playing in the Converses. We'll see how that pays off. A great ball through from Leake. Couldn't quite find Baker. One loses out. And now Bates skips beyond one. Out wide to Silva. Silva keeps it. Gives it to McCartney. McCartney back to Silva. To McCartney once again. Now down the line. Flicked down the line by Ranieri. Grado puts it out. Laura Waltman coming back on now. Ball to the back post. McCartney almost getting that header there from point blank range. It's looking a lot better from the Cobras after conceding that early goal. We've definitely got a game on our hands. How will it go? Waltman looks to cut onto that left boot. Baker back to one. One. You can see what she's trying to do there with the ball through, but couldn't quite find Waltman. As Sam Brady comes back on, the number 45. McCartney lobbed forward to no one. And now it's Western Devils side ball on the near touchline, deep and near the corner. Andrea Priato sporting the blue Muniches, a very nice pair of shoes indeed. One of the only female players in the league to wear Muniches. That's what we like to see. An obsolete brand from Spain, so it's hard to get a hold of them in Australia, but if you know where to look, you can find them. A brand specific for futsal. They were the ball provider at AFA Nationals. And Laura Waltman will look to line this one up on the left. She typically sports the female-only Ida boots, and I think she might be doing so again today. Can't quite see from this distance. Looks like she is. Baker usually always wears them, but this day, or this time, she switched it up with the Converses. Brady beats Priato down the flank, but runs out of room. And Priato, sorry, it's Waltman twisting and turning. Lauren Baker, the root ball looking for Waltman. Priato goes up, and it's a timeout for the Western Devils. 3 minutes and 42 seconds left in the half after the West Coast Cobras picked up a bit of momentum when they called their halftime break. You'd sense the Devils will take a break, reevaluate, and aim to stop it from happening any longer. We'll have a quick break and be back in just a moment. And the restart, 3 minutes, 42 seconds left on the clock, with the final 2 minutes being stop clock. The Devils lead by a goal, courtesy of Laura Waltman inside the opening 2 minutes of the match. And that's a great strike from Baker. A good save by Leyland also. Baker, this time opting to pass rather than shoot. Leyland gives it to Kontinabali, who looks to bring it forward. Brady now. EJ Silva, the two youngsters linking up well. Waltman loses out to Kontinabali, but the ball falls out to Priato. He looks to get it inside. And now Silva to Brady. They're doing well there, the youngsters. It's given away by Bates. Kontinabali looks to find Brady. Good first time ball out to Baker. And now with Clayton. Clayton walking it into the half. No real pressure on coming by the Cobras. Waltman, can she drive forward? Opts to play Baker on the opposite flank instead. And now inside to Waltman. The ball hit too hard at her feet. Unable to play it first time. Bates down the line. Clayton can't beat Bates. Clayton, great ball over the top. Waltman's in behind. And that one off the post. But what a ball that is from Clayton. Great vision to pick out the pass. And Laura Waltman did everything right. If the goal was set up a couple of millimeters earlier this afternoon, would have definitely been a contender for goals of the week. The woodwork coming in handy for the West Coast Cobras on that occasion. We've just got to settle on the ball. They're not keeping possession the best. Looking a bit rushed. And this is looking a little bit better. They get it to Bates. Kontinabali can't. That one's given away. And now Annabelle Link with a chance. Squares it. But it's behind Waltman. And you can see the Devils, they're looking for the right opportunities to press. And that ball there from Kant being loose signaled the time they needed to go. Annabelle Leak capitalising on it and trying to do the unselfish thing and go to the back post. But next time I think she'll be cracking one on Leyland's goal herself. That one out for a Devils sideline ball. The deficit still stands at a goal. Laura Waltman, if anyone can change it, it's going to be her. An uncharacteristic loose ball. Marco can't. And now to Clayton. Clayton on the turn. Blocked by Kontinabali. Very brave. Putting a body on the line. And up the line. Waltman dummies. Clayton cuts inside on the left. Very nearly there from Penelope Clayton. Got one of the better weak foots in the league. Leyland to Kant. And again, I'm getting caught up by the press. Leyland does well, but Waltman still got it. She settles and plays it out to McDowell. Waltman, back post ball. Clayton's going to win a volley. And not a bad strike there from Clayton. Not a bad strike at all. Looking for that far bottom corner, but it was blocked on the way through. And now Clayton down the line. Ranieri to Marco Kant. Leak does enough. Clayton. Out wide to Leak. And back to Clayton. Leak again to Clayton. He's got Kant to beat. Gets the ball inside. Waltman was looking to link up with McDowell, but they weren't quite on the same wavelength. Gets it out to Annabelle Leak. Leyland saves, and the Cobras will just look to see out this first half. 1-0 going into the break would be a good result for them. They don't want to make it get any worse. Clayton And the first half whistle goes. The deficit. The score remains at 1-0 to the Devils. And we'll have a look at some goals to the round and be back in a moment. Clayton getting us underway for the second half of the match. Priato out wide to Clayton. And Kontinabali almost comes away with it. Annabelle Leake back out to Priato. Now B1 beats Kontinabali down the line. It's a good save by Leyland. Tipping it over for a corner. Great move to get beyond our marker there, B1, and a good shot as well. That one by Priato. Can't find the target. Hit first time on the right boot. You can see the Devils are trying to bait the Cobras into playing it out short. And then they look to press up on them very tightly, and they've forced a few turnovers inside their half as Kontinabali looking to get played through there by Bates. Now Priato, ball down the line to B1. Shoots on the turn into the side netting. Leyland, I think she held it longer than 4 seconds. Referee letting her get away with one there. Priato to Annabelle Leake. The Cobras retreat back to halfway. Leake now gives it to Priato again. Priato to Leake and to Clayton. One looks to flick it on, no one there. Kontinabali being pressed by one. Leyland allowing it to run out of bounds. Priato now to Leak. Clayton. Again to Priato and down the line. Bates puts it into touch. Clayton. Ball in the middle. One can't flick it on. McCartney. Kontinabali under pressure by one. Gets it out, but only as far as Priato. B1 with a chance. Leyland reacts in time. Kontinabali gives it away. One applying pressure high up the court and getting multiple chances for herself. She's looking lively this second half, B1. The high press from the Devils proving worthwhile once again as Priato lays it off. One to Clayton. Clayton fires on the turn, but it's blocked by Kontinabali. Clayton sails one to the back post. Leyland gathers on the second attempt. We know Andrea Priato is quite useful in the air. Scored a header against the Northern Hawks last week, and that's definitely the main reason why they look for those longer balls into the danger area. Priato, who usually plays at fixo, now becoming the pivot for the Western Devils in the absence of Laura Waltman. Once Waltman comes back on the court, you could definitely see Priato going to her more natural position. Bates might be in behind. Musial fields, and now with one. Clayton. The Devils with all the chances and possession. That ball uncharacteristically played out of bounds by Clayton. Eleanor Bates, Ranieri once it at the back post, and it was a good ball, but Ranieri couldn't control it. It was half a metre or so off the ground, which made it all the more harder. As Clayton to Priato. Priato just slowing the game down now. There's no need to rush it. The Cobras are sitting at halfway and waiting for the Devils to make the first move. Clayton won't be long before she tries to speed it up herself. However, one getting tackled. It's starting to touch. Clayton in the middle, but rolling beyond everybody. Leyland. And now the Devils look to press a bit. Ranieri, a loose touch, uses her physicality to make up for it, and she's played Bates down the line. Looks to return it to Ranieri, but the ball didn't have the accuracy on it. Ranieri can look to strike it on the right boot, or the left. She goes on the right, but it's only as far as one. McCartney, another one who can hit them for the Cobras. Headed by Priato. Ranieri, B1 gets the better of her, but the ball was adjudged to have gone out of play. And Sarah Ranieri getting pushed back into her own defensive half. Kim McCartney. A long ball looking for Bates. Becky Musial giving it to Clayton. Out wide to Priato. And now again, the return ball in behind. But the touchline beats Lindsay McDowell to the ball. And Leyland looking long. Headed by Priato. And into touch for the West Coast Cobras. Somehow there's still only one goal in this match. The Cobras, who have been on the back foot for most of it, could quite easily conjure something up against the run of play and find themselves level on the scoreboard. Kontinabali looking across the court to McCartney, who leaves as they want to take that resulting sideline ball. Brady being encouraged to exit the area for Neri. They've got to roll it off the line quickly. Kontinabali couldn't put the shot, or couldn't keep the shot down, rather. Musial. Clayton over the top. Flicks it on. McDowell tries to play it inside. And the ball across the top by Baker. It's a good strike, and the Converse has got a lot of power behind it, but just couldn't keep it down. As Leyland goes long. It's a great throw. Ranieri couldn't take it in her stride, but gets the ball to the back post nonetheless. A weak ball from Brady, putting Kontinabali under pressure. Brady, got to be careful here. Does well. Ranieri, that one rolls out into touch. The Cobras not able to deal with the high press from the Western Devils. As we see, Waltman back on. Leyland reaches for it and palms it away. Waltman gives it to Baker to take. Waltman can look to drive and shoot on the left foot, and that's exactly what she'll do. But it's blocked by Kontinabali, who's pressing Laura Waltman high. Laura Waltman gets in between two, but gets her ball out wide, all wrong to Baker. And the West Coast Cobras will get it from the sideline again. Kontinabali plays it off Baker. This time a metre or so higher up the court. As McCartney down the line to Ranieri. They've got numbers forward. Ranieri's ball to the back post. It was the right idea, but the wrong execution. Waltman goes for a run. She hasn't been tracked by Brady, who gets to go side of her in the end. The throw trickling out in the end anyway. Brady under pressure. Waltman, still Waltman, out wide. McDowell, back post, cleared by Brady. Now the Cobras can reset into their shape at halfway. Priato, saved by Leyland. Straight down the breadbasket of the Cobras, number one, who rushes that one a bit, panics and puts it out. Baker, a loose ball. The game full of turnovers. The Cobras have got it back now. As we see Eleanor Bates come on, maybe her good footwork can settle it a bit and help them hold possession. Waltman went bowling over, but the referee doesn't call anything. Waltman will shoot 5 meters back. And the ball over the top from Bates. Marco can't. And it's a timeout from the Western Devils. With 9 minutes left in the half, Laura Waltman's early goal is still the only one thus far. We'll have a quick break and be back in a moment. Waltman to Baker and back to Waltman. McDowell looks to beat McCartney down the line. And given away again by the Cobras. B1. Waltman across the court. Baker. Heavy touch. It was good play by Waltman to spot the overlapping run of Lauren Baker. A better first touch, and it would have been a good chance for the Devils to double the advantage. And Eleanor Bates, she's going to strike it on the left boot, presumably. Conti's making the run at the back post. It deflects and falls to McDowell. McDowell inside to one. One through, looking for McDowell. McDowell doesn't quite have the pace to get there anymore, but it's a well-worked move. McCartney being pressed by one who's come alive this second half, and nevertheless, the Cobras will get the ball back. Last touch was off the number 9. McCartney given away cheaply. Now the Devils will get it back from the side. Clayton out wide. Waltman across Baker. Looking for the ball through. Baker chips it long. Leyland, a long ball, can't stall alone, and this is a chance. Muzia coming off her line. If the throw was a little bit shorter from Leyland, it would have been a good chance for the West Coast Cobras. Devils getting caught and napping at the back, making a substitute at the wrong time. Waltman, can she put the game to bed? Gets beyond Continental, but the touchline is set to the ball, and Leyland looks for Marco Khan, who's under pressure, and West Coast Cobras getting very lucky. I'm not sure who got the last touch, whether it was Clayton. I think it was Marco Khan, almost putting it into our own net there. Cobras have to be a bit sharper on the ball. But nevertheless, with just under 7 minutes left, they're within a kick away. Scooped over the top. Poor pass, really. But they'll get it back, the Devils. Laura Waltman, the sole goal scorer. Clayton. B1 down the line. Waltman in a tussle with Ranieri. Ranieri will have the size advantage and strength over her. Intercepted. Come to the Bali. Can she go herself? Back post ball! But what a challenge that is from Laura Waltman. It was a great ball to the back post from Continental. Marco Khan was running in for the tap in, but Waltman scoring at one end, putting her body on the line at the other. And should the Devils get all 3 points from this match, you can guarantee she'll be a good shot for player of the game. And chip there, Ranieri at the back post looking to head it on goal, but just couldn't make contact. Musial was scrambling across our line. 5 minutes to go. Do the Cobras have what it takes? Do they have a hero? Can the Devils hold on in what you think would be a routine victory? But the Cobras have made it hard for them. They might have not played the best futsal, but they've defended gallantly, and Leyland's been reliable when called upon. Waltman causing problems once again. To Clayton. Clayton in the middle. Back out by Leak. And Leak's there at the back post. Can't get there in time. And EJ Silva coming back on. Silva. Still Silva giving away. Waltman to wrap things up. Annabelle Leak, but Silva does really well. A last-ditch effort. Leyland Releases Ranieri, gets it out wide, comes to Nabali. Across the court. Late crossing. So is B1. But the 1-2 gets behind. Waltman's there to clean up as usual. And Clayton, Waltman, Leak. The Devils just keeping possession. Leak with a pull ball. McCartney coming on. Ranieri off to the bench. And they've got to hit these balls harder, the West Coast Cobras. If you had to pick on one thing that's let them down today, it's been their ball speed, side balls and passes across the face of the court, especially in that offensive half, have been too slow. They've been getting intercepted. B1 looking for the back post. Clayton with the toe poke. And behind for a corner. 3 minutes 20 left to go. Last 2 minutes will be stop clock, so still plenty of time for either side, really. Clayton fires over the bar. It's a timeout by the West Coast Cobras. We'll be back. Ranieri looks to go long. Bates, Kontanabali gives it away. Down the line, Waltman, Friato, Leak to Waltman, first time ball inside. Bates, now they've got to look to slow it down and get Ranieri up with the fifth man. McCartney dictating play at the back. Ranieri's in the top corner. CJ Silva up on the right flank. And the ball inside to Ranieri. Waltman wins the back and she finish. Away with Chopo by Laura Waltman. McCartney, long ball. Comes to Nabali, can't control it.
Presser. Onto left foot. Good.
Out wide to Clayton. First time ball looking for Waltman. Misguided. Ranieri, a minute 51 left. A long ball. Chested down by Leak. Friato, Leak. Waltman, through ball. Ranieri needs to pick it up and does. Now she goes for a goalie run herself. Moves it on quickly. Kontanabali. So one final twist of the tail. McCartney. Silva. Down the line. Bates. Eleanor Bates, saved by Musial. Bates turned Waltman. It was the best chance of the game the Cobras have had, probably. Good touch from Kontanabali. Fires over the bar, but it's looking more promising. The Cobras are getting those shots off. And now they've got to press. They've got to make sure they goal side at the same time. Musial. Touch off Clayton. And Ranieri picks it up. Ranieri goes long, but there's no one there. Gives it away cheaply. They've got to keep pressing inside the final minute. ball off forward. Now they can slow it down and set it up. The challenge for the West Coast Cobras is dealing with this Western Devils press from the fifth man. How do they break it? How do they get in shape? You can see Leyland isn't coming out of her goal yet. And passes like that by McCartney aren't going to cut it. 46 seconds left. Is Laura Watman's goal going to be enough for the 3 points? Prado's lob ball forward. Clayton holds it up well. Every second she can run off the clock is invaluable to the Devils. It's eaten up 10 seconds. 36 left on the clock. Clayton. Prado. And again, just lobs it forward. Waltman. Leak. Deflected behind. And they've got a corner. 27 seconds. Cobras have got to gamble. They've got to leave numbers forward. Waltman, will she look to hold it in the corner or strike on the left? Clayton. They will look to hold it in the corner, but they've messed it up. And now it's a chance for the Cobras. Leyland. It's not a bad throw. They've got to press now, but what a turn from Baker. Sells the dummy, and this could wrap up the game. Back post ball. Still 13 seconds left. They've got to get someone up top at target. Someone that can hold the ball up for him is Bates. That person. And a bit of deliberation, working out where the ball's actually gone. And it's been given away. Handball, nothing called. It has been called. They've got to slow it down. It was rushed, it was poor. It was stupid. And it almost cost them the match, if it hasn't already. McCartney has got to send it long. They've got to get numbers on Musial. In her face and on it. Can they hope for a flick on with the head? Bates, Ranieri, and deflected. They've got a corner with 3 seconds left. They've got to work a shot. They've got to put a block in. They need a back post runner. Ranieri, 1 second. It's got to be directly hit off the side ball. Ranieri has to go right to it. McCartney is blocked. The final whistle goes, but it was a good game. 1-0. That goal in the second minute only from Waltman, enough to get her side all 3 points. And despite the Cobras' utmost efforts, it's the Devils who come out triumphant. We'll have a look at the stats. 51 or 52% possession for the Devils, 48% for the Cobras. Devils with 22 shots, 13 on target. The West Coast Cobras with 9 shots, 4 on target. And we've got 1 game left in the Women's Supa-Liga between... In fact, we don't. The game has been postponed, so that wraps up all the action for tonight. My name has been John Goodlich. Thank you for joining me.